Hello and welcome to Law and Order SVU here on FANVERSATION. I am Yael Tygiel. That is Felicia Michelle. That is Taylor Gates. Hello, ladies.
Hello, yo.
Hello. This is season 27, episode 7, False Idols. Before we jump into this episode, if you're in a situation and you need help, please reach out to RAINN. Their number is 1-800-656-4673. 1-800-656-4673. What does that spell?
Hope.
Okay. Bye.
It spells hope.
Logging out.
There was such a pause.
She's still here. Stop it, Taylor. If you're listening,
Get my video back. Wait.
Come back. If you're listening,
How do I come back? Wait,
if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Taylor left, but she's
Anyway, I can't believe
Remember
it.
how you were like, that's not me anymore, and we knew you were lying.
some lying ass bitch.
Yeah.
Similar to our main character in this episode. Go ahead, yo.
Yes.
I was this close to saying, if you were in a situation and you need help, don't stab anybody. And that in and of itself should tell you the kind of shit we say on this podcast. So please consider this your content warning. I'm really proud of myself for getting through the hotline number before I said it.
Just barely.
It needed to be said. Just barely. Yes, this is season 27, episode 7, False Idols. Here is the quick cap. The SVU must determine fact from fiction when a famous author twists the details of a serious crime. Finn has a challenging day at work. Felicia, what did you think of this episode?
Finn is back, and that's all I care about.
Okay.
That's it.
Taylor?
I love seeing Jemima Kirk on my screen, and I love the marketing they did. I don't know if you guys saw it, but should I give everybody the lore? Okay, so there's this meme where she was answering questions. She's doing a Q&A on her Instagram stories, and someone asked if she was queer, and she said, "What the hell, sure," with this picture of herself just looking so straight face. You guys have to look this up. And so they did like promo for the episode, and they had Bruno, Kevin Kane. Am I saying these names right? Okay, I feel like I just like was on another planet for a second. He was like, "Are you watching SVU this week?" And she was like, "What the hell, sure." And she was doing that meme, and it was so funny. I was like, the social media team killed it. So I use "what the hell, sure" all the time. So I was just like, thought that was the funniest thing ever.
I didn't see any of this. I had none of this knowledge. This is amazing.
Do you even know "what the hell, sure"?
No.
No, this is crazy. You guys have to jump on this train because it's like the funniest reaction pic meme. Like, I love it so much.
What the hell, sure.
That's great. I think she did a great job in this episode. But because the only other thing I know her from is a show that I very much dislike, I was not a fan of hers. Not that I have any issue with her.
Is it Girls?
Yes.
Wow. I'm a Girls defender, I fear. I do get why people don't like it though. So I can't be like, you like, no, I understand why people hate it, but I personally, unfortunately, love it.
Oh God.
Sorry.
Oh, Taylor.
Oh my God, you guys. This is so critically like.
But she was the lead. Oh damn, y'all tell her that.
Oh my God! Wow, someone in the chat, please be a Girls defender with me. None of them were likable in that show. That was the whole point of the show.
She was the least unlikable one. Her character, and maybe it was just because I have a tolerance for accents. You know. A little Manchester, a little Cockney accent, a little Essex. You know, I'm there already, halfway there. So.
I mean, yeah, they all sucked in their own ways. That was the point of the show. But I was glad to see her back on my screen.
Yes, I think she did an incredible job with this episode, and we'll talk about that. Let's start with Finn, because I'm glad he's back. I found his adorable intimidation prank with Griffin to be wonderful. My concerns with that scene is two things. One, Benson stands there as though she is not the captain who should decide whether hazing is appropriate or not. Stands there being like, I wonder what's going to happen, which like, that's bad leadership, but okay. And then the other part is, and this I think everyone needs to appreciate, Griffin never read back the order, nor did he go and get it. So no one was fed.
Fair enough.
That's all. I got so upset.
I don't like that guy.
Where's the continuity?
Like
They had a bunch of Chinese food later, so they're fine. But
That's true.
yeah, that was interesting. That shot. I the only one that like thought that was a little interesting, just odd. Like the zoom in on the food, and then I was like, oh, okay. I was like, well, that
The
looks all
product
disgusting.
placement?
That looks like y'all
The
stomachs.
Doritos?
Yeah. Well, also, I thought maybe it's kind of try to make him, because we see it in front of him, make him look childish or more immature or something. I don't know. But those plaid shirts are god awful. They're terrible. I don't want to see another one. Please dress him like an adult. You are a detective in a very. This is a serious job. This is an unserious show, but that's a very serious job. Why are you dressed like that? Why you dressed like that?
Do you remember when they had an entire storyline about Muncie wearing blazers?
yeah,
Taylor?
yes, I remember that.
It was. So if we're going to be telling a woman how she needs to dress for a job, we are absolutely going to be telling this man child how he should be dressed for a job.
What was I going to say about the hazing thing? Because I don't want to forget. Olivia and Finn is her peer. She will never correct him in front of anybody ever. She won't. Whenever she's lost, she looks to him as her right hand. Although he's not her partner, because she cannot have a partner because she's captain. He is her partner. So there's not a world and he's seen enough action almost as much as her. So in her mind, there's not a world she's going to correct him. And also, I don't really think she likes that young man that much. So she thought, oh, good. Here he is. Great. This is the Finn. I needed some of this because I can't do it. So you do it to this kid. You know.
I like that interpretation a lot.
That's my thought.
Let's talk about Finn's PTSD. You both made faces.
I mean, it was such a
Any
quick little
thoughts?
moment in a lot of ways. I mean, I did expand, obviously, because he like said at the end, like, I don't know, I need some more time. But kind of the trigger before that was he just like reached for his gun really fast when they were picking up the guy, which I was like, okay, interesting. I wonder where this is going to go. And then he got solved pretty quickly, but I didn't know what direction that was going to head, honestly.
Maybe it's like a seed, maybe it's just a seed for something else later, because if that was the point, if it's not going to be anything, it didn't need to be in the episode at all. It's just a very small kind of thing. Maybe it's like, because it's confidence. Like, he's always had confidence. Like, Finn has always known who he is from the very first moment where he walked into the squad room and told that lady he was finna take her job. Like, from the very first moment that we met him, he has had a lot of confidence in himself. So interesting to see him lack confidence in that way, to say like, should I be stopping this? Should I not be here anymore? Am I not good at this anymore? And having like that moment of vulnerability. Which, don't play with me like that, because if that man retires, like, we have to throw a retirement party. Like, in the flesh. Like, invite people. We have to do something. He's worked too hard.
Yeah, I agree. I think it definitely feels like they were planting seeds, and it has to be, because literally the season starts with him being like, I've thought about retiring, but I'm not going anywhere. And then now to have him be like, I feel like I'm old. Maybe I'm not ready to do this. It's interesting. We'll see where it goes, if it goes anywhere.
I'm gonna put that one on the prayer list. It doesn't need to go nowhere.
I mean, if it almost felt like we had the season where Rollins was dealing with like PTSD. I feel like they just feel the need to give somebody something to deal with over the course of episodes, but also like, why bring him back and then have him choose to step out?
I'm like, is there something with Ice-T's schedule? Like, I genuinely wondered that because it does feel weird. But at the same time, yeah, if he's going to be out for more episodes again, why even have this one? I don't know. The pacing is like interesting. I don't exactly know what they're going for. Maybe it'll all make sense in the end, but right now it does feel strange.
Yeah. Are you looking up what his schedule is, what he's got going on?
I mean, like he's hosting the documentary special called Fame and Fentanyl, explores the impact of the fentanyl crisis. He's doing that animated series called The Blunt Heads, where he plays the voice of Papa Blunt. Nothing where I see where it would be hugely impactful for the time that he would be away for a long time, but maybe it explains the time that he was gone just for those couple of episodes. But I don't see anything crazy. I would love him to come back with his reality show, Ice Loves Coco, because that was great. But otherwise,
maybe it's like also, sorry, not to cut you off, but like I'm wondering if it's like a contract thing, because he obviously is still like in the credits and like whatever build, and so maybe like he kind of does have to meet a certain number of episodes, even if he's doing other stuff. So they're like, okay, you have a time like this week, we'll have you back this week, and then have you struggle again. So honestly, maybe it's like schedule meets like his contract, to be honest.
So I also thought that.
Yeah,
go on.
He's a person, and I think sometimes I forget that. All of us probably do. Entertainers are still people. People need breaks sometimes. Like it dawned on me. Now I feel so bad for being like, where you at? Because maybe you don't know what's going on in their life, in their family, in their home, with their bodies, or anything like that. So yeah, maybe he just need a little break. But welcome back. Sorry, y'all.
No, it's fine. Doreen the chat said Ice is busy with other stuff. He's doing a lot of commercials. I agree that him popping up in this episode definitely feels like it was a contractual obligation, specifically because, right, his whole thing starts in episode 1. We see him in episode 2 or 3 when Velasco says he's leaving, and that's it. And this is episode 7. So, like, yes, there definitely is a big break, and I feel like contractually he has to be in some number of episodes, but they put him in for such a big amount this episode that I feel like if it was a contractual thing and he wasn't available, they would have done less. They would have had someone check in on him or had him do a video call or something, as opposed to him coming in, be like, no, I'm ready. I want to be part of the case. And then be like, yeah, I'm not ready.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very.
All right, let's talk about this week's episode, which is all about a romantasy writer, Claire Morgan, and her piece of crap husband, Stuart, and the girl, Leah, who stabs him. All I could think was, girl, pull the knife out. Like, no one would have found you if he hadn't stumbled away, pulled the knife out. He'd bleed to death.
True. I'm going to ask this question because I don't know whether to save this until what have we learned, but did anyone know what this could have been ripped from?
Oh, I know exactly what it's ripped from.
Okay, well, don't say it because I'm going to say it during what did we learn, because I'm so proud of coming to the conclusion on my own.
Okay, well, I'm excited to see what you came up with because I was going to save it for Rip from the Headline segment, but we'll talk about it.
Okay, whatever. As long as it's later, but I was like, I don't know, am I the only one? And then I Googled it and Reddit was like, no, definitely. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, so this was absolutely ripped from a headline, and we'll talk about that later. I thought what was interesting was the title of her book was Onyx Winter. For those who are not in the fantasy book world, there's a very, very famous, not the author that this is ripped from the headline of, famous book called Onyx Storm that just came out. So I think this was absolutely, the name was inspired by that, but that has nothing to do with the case that it's actually ripped from.
Like, as someone who does even read these books, like they all sound like that. Like they all sound exactly like you know, like a fun fantasy word, some adjective, like they all sound like Onyx Storm or whatever. Like they all have the same vibe. I feel like they just
True.
went to fantasynovelgenerator.com and were like, amazing, we're doing that one.
I will say
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, like, I'm not in that world at all. Y'all know Yael very much is in the romance fantasy world, and she'll tell you more about where you can find that and her reviews on those books later in an episode. But for me, myself, and I personally, I don't read any of that. I don't think it's smut, and even if it is smut, I think smut is fun. And but the fans just seemed so desperate. And I was like, is that really how like romance novel fans are? Like that, like yearning, like it's like the yearning for like the understanding and the acceptance and the like it's this, they seem just a little weird. Sorry.
So I think a couple of things. One, just to clarify, I read romance, not fantasy. But two, in any fandom, there are a lot of people, not just in the fantasy books world, a lot of people in the TV world as well, in anime world, in any fandom, you find people who the work spoke to them so personally that it can come off to somebody that necessarily didn't impact the same. It can come off as creepy. And I totally see that. But sometimes, you know, the same way that people listen to music and a song speaks to them, a song says what they couldn't say, they feel it. It helps them get through something. You know, that's one of the great things about art in any format, in any medium, music, books, TV, movies, fine arts, is the way that it makes you feel and the way that you reflect and see yourself or learn about yourself or understand yourself or feel not so alone. And I think that they did an incredible job of showing us very much how that is. I think the problem is you have somebody who makes this art and then becomes a complete predator. And I will say I found it very interesting to see that with a woman who is the predator, but is not the sexual predator. And I think that is such an interesting distinction because she absolutely, her entire being feeds off these people's adoration. And she is a vampire. What was it? Empathy vampire.
I have that in my notes. I was like, this is another way that we've seen empathy used as a weapon. This time for evil. In this episode, and it's clear that like the fans like have deified her, and that was like very like a clear. She cannot do any wrong. She is, and everyone in her life deified her, even her husband.
Well, there's like a level of, I think it's interesting to like intersect like the parasocial nature too, because some of these fans were parasocial as fuck, and that is a really tricky, scary line sometimes. So I do think this episode was interesting that it kind of did show a lot of different aspects of that and how those lines get really blurred and messy. And I hope that maybe we get another episode like digging more deeply into like the parasocial aspect. I mean, I feel like we have had that before a little bit with like catfishing and whatever too, but I don't know, like even just in the news this week, I don't know if you guys saw like the Wicked stuff, like that fan who like assaulted Ariana Grande, like that shit is scary. And I don't know, I just think that like fan spaces are so complicated and have so much.
He's done that to other artists, like
that's literally his thing.
Yeah.
And I will just tell you, I don't know, speak for myself as somebody who more people might know you than you know them, like not in a weird way. It can be very like weird because they don't feel like you're a stranger, but to you that is a stranger, and they want to like do things like hug and stuff like, you know what I mean? And it can just be uncomfortable. So I can't imagine like him running towards her like that is kind of terrifying. Like I think the whole press tour is honestly just never mind, shut up, Felicia. But for whatever it is, that's not cool, and that's very scary. And Taylor's right, these parasocial relationships are just really wild.
It is, yeah, interesting to see her use that to her advantage in this episode, though. Like, it's so interesting and crazy and awful, but really fascinating at the same time.
This we need it. Where is BD Wong? I mean, he's all over my threads. If you don't follow him on threads, please do, because he's quite literally the funniest human being in life. I just didn't want to cuss in life. He's like hilarious on threads.
I've cussed like 4 times already. I think that ship sailed.
No, I know, but I just want him back. I will always regret not seeing him in the grocery store in New York and not saying hello. I've never been like fangirled, shocked, anything, but I saw him and I just couldn't. I just wanted to observe.
I think that is the perfect example, right? You are a fan, you wanted to say hello, and you remember that he's a human being at the grocery store. And as much as you're sad that you didn't say hello, you made the right call. And I think that earlier we talked about what Ice-T might be up to, and you remembered he's a human being. And like, that is a huge thing in fan spaces, is people forgetting that the people that they admire are human beings.
Well, yeah, you forget it so
I think
much.
you did great.
She's capable of something like this. Is to get back to the story, that she's capable of something like this, because there's no one in that sphere that would have thought that. There are all these young women that looked up to her, and how she got them in was that they admired her. And as a woman, that is absolutely sickening, that a woman is telling you they love your work and they see themselves, and they, like Yael was saying, like they feel connected, and you take that and you destroy them because you can. What are you even getting out of it? Because you're not your husband is the person who did the actions, but what do you get out of that? What is that about?
I spent a lot of this episode thinking about like her behavior towards letting him do, or like setting it up for him to do this. And you're right. What is, aside from getting this person who sits there and fawns over you and is very happy and you know, admires you, what do you get out of this?
Maybe she don't got to sleep with her husband. Some people don't want to sleep with their husbands. There's a lot of people who don't want to sleep with their husbands.
True.
She took herself out of it, you know. Also, he's a very strange character as well. I mean, obviously a sick person, because who to do that to any person, but more so that I think I wrote down, like, is that the fastest that someone's ever confessed to assaulting somebody? Because he got there, he was like, yep, I did it. All right. All to protect her. That was insane. Like, he was like, yep, okay, no problem. If I did that, I'll go down. No problem.
Well, I believe it was said that like she's the money maker of the house. Like, he essentially, his entire life is to serve her. Now. And so this is all he got out of it. So like, he can't, if he wants to, when he gets out, whenever that might be, go back to that life, he has to take the fall essentially, and save her reputation so she can continue living. I'm assuming that's my interpretation of this behavior.
But she's done with him, you know, to know that she's done with you no matter what, and to not be like, she did it too, she was a part of this too. It just is very, like, I don't know, her mind control. Again, she uses empathy as a weapon, like an evil weapon.
Yeah, that's a good point, honestly.
There was this moment, she keeps talking about the trauma of this, that this was all very traumatizing for her, and that she's trying to process it. Sorry, she's trying to process it.
Literally.
What?
She's just so full of shit. It cracked me up. I was like, there's not one real word coming out of your mouth ever. Like, you are just such a liar.
What'd she say? She's like, there's no food in my house, so I haven't been able to eat. Like, what?
I have a migraine. Like, shut up. I love her. She was so dramatic.
I was waiting for her to express something, like how she understood, because she definitely was like, I'm an empath, and everyone's like, she's an empath, she feels everything. And I was like, do you Do you empathize?
Can I
Do
say
you
something?
understand?
Being described or like self-describing as an empath is a red flag. Like, I'm sorry. I don't even care if it's true. That is a red flag because 99% of the time it's the worst person you have ever met. I'm sorry. Maybe that's a hot take, but it is the truth. If someone says, oh, I'm an empath, I don't trust them because they're like this. They are this woman, and I can't do it. Like, that word has been ruined for people who really are empaths. Like, I don't trust it. It's been co-opted or hijacked by people like this who just like love therapy speak. That's the other thing. She uses all these like spiritual therapy speak, and people can weaponize that, and people do weaponize that so much nowadays, and it's crazy.
Oh, I want y'all to know somebody weaponized mental health against me today, guys. I don't know if you know on Instagram, but you can you can send an alert to someone's profile for Instagram to tell them Instagram they're checking on you. They want to make sure you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Someone sent me one today, and I was like, fuck you. Like, no, I will never be okay. I live in this world. What are you talking about? Like, it's, as the antinatalist will say, to live is to suffer. Okay. So no, nobody's okay. So I'm sending them to everybody now. So I don't know what that was about, but you're right. People do weaponize mental health. And it's a shame because there are people who, again, are empaths. They really do feel it. I said, like, catch a vibe or whatever. But then there are people who, some people are just, they're good at reading emotion. They're good at reading people and then taking that information and manipulating it. And that's a different skill set. I don't know what that might be called. Maybe it's called narcissism or falls in that umbrella. I have no clue. That word's thrown around a lot too. But there are some people who can just read a room, know what people want, and deliver it to them and make it seem sincere. And I don't know what that is, but that's what that lady was doing. Because empathy is, you know, feeling bad for the women that your husband assaulted, but since you kind of set it up, I guess you don't feel bad. Mm-hmm. Your plan was successful. Yikes. That lady came down the chalkboard without thinking about that shit. Sorry.
Let's give some actor shout outs. Taylor, how do you pronounce her name?
I think it's Jemima Kirk.
Yeah, I think so too. So Jemima Kirk was our Claire Morgan. Her husband, Creepy Stuart Morgan, was played by Christopher Ryan Grant. I'll say this. I think he did a great job being a creep. Our Leah was Aria Taylor. The previous assistant was, where did she go? Alex was the name of the character. And the actress was Dana Kreitz. The lawyer who came in to help Leah was Brian Moss as the character, Gabe Fonseca. I absolutely love that he had her best interest in mind. That is what he came to do, and that is what he did.
They played themselves so hard.
It was the right move.
Over. And then he was like, okay, I'm helping her.
I hate to be this girl, but I'm her. So I feel like something that really, we just skated right on across. Everybody skated around. She was staring. She was lurking and touching herself. And we just skating right past that. Something's wrong with her too. She stuck her hand down her pants. Remember that part in the beginning?
I think she was pulling.
I thought she was touching herself.
I did not register.
I was like, she touching herself? I'm sorry. I think everybody just has dirty hands. They be touching themselves. So I just was like,
that's a crazy interpretation, but that would really be interesting.
This is Law and Order SVU.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I didn't think of it, but that would have been really interesting. I didn't read it that way, but the fact that you did is compelling to me.
Staring at this lady, and she's sticking her hands down the front of her pants. I don't know about y'all. I have pockets right now. They're on the sides.
I don't know. Now I'm going to go back and rewatch it because I didn't pick up on that at all.
I was like, that's weird.
If you're watching us or listening to us wherever, I would love, you have to tell us if you thought she was touching herself or if she was something in her pocket.
I want it to be
I'm
true
disappointed.
because that adds
I'm disappointed
layers to
myself.
things.
This is the second time this season I thought somebody was doing that.
I mean, I don't know. People are freaks.
That first
People are
time,
freaks.
everyone thought
Okay.
that first time.
I was like, she looking at them and touching herself. I was like, ooh, this is starting off real freaky.
I really hope
NBC?
that's the case because that adds so much to this.
Only on
That
NBC.
changes a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that I that's what I got. I was like, oh, she touching herself. That's
Deanna in
Even
the
though-
chat said, I thought she was grabbing a knife.
okay. I'm a little freaked out by
I think
myself.
it's just you, babe.
No, there's somebody else out there. I promise. I know there is. The front of
I
the
have it on my
rhino-
DVR. I'm gonna pull it up.
Okay,
That's
because
fine.
I thought it was like a kangaroo pocket.
I thought it was a different type of pocket.
Okay. I love you.
Well,
I want to give some more actor shout outs. Nicole the chef was played by Cassandra Cruz. And then this is one of my favorite things that happened in this episode. For some reason, a lot of the background was given names. So Goth Woman was played by Jada Spear. Fairy Fan was played by Faye Soten. Witchy Woman was played by Rose Berdu. Ethereal One was played by Alyssa Nasca. I just felt like that needed to be called out.
I kind of love that.
And of course, the Claire's defense attorney was played by Malcolm Barrett, who is an incredible actor, also a very wonderful human being. But really great performance. And for those who didn't notice, we had D.A. Baxter, Tony Goldwyn from Mothership, and Nolan Price, the ADA from Mothership as well.
Yeah, these are
making
really
some
great
cameos.
performances. They're really great performances this episode.
Yeah.
Not as many twists and turns as we've seen previously in other episodes this season, but still not what you would expect as the episode opened. Clearly, I don't know what show I was watching, so I might have a different opinion, but I was watching
But I will say, I think while it didn't have twists and turns, and it wasn't really wild and out of this world and really some surprising things, it did have some interesting ways to get there. I think them listening to the audio and hearing her say, "This one isn't yours," when she's talking about the chef, and then talking about how she knows he needs an outlet to expel his energy, which like it really feeds into the this concept that men are uncontrollable, and that men have these urges, and like as a feminist writer,
like masturbate, like sorry, get a stop, for God's sake.
What is it? Chemical when they take the shot and they lose all their libido?
chemical castration.
Yes, thank you. That.
I mean, but also like have self-restraint. And if you don't, like seek help for that.
You don't seek help.
There
when
was
you
also
think
right. I want to talk about there was like a weird interaction, weird as a viewer of a television show, where Claire says, Leah's false claim is a problem for real victims. And then she says, I don't need to tell you that false rape claims are bad for women. And then Ben says, we can all agree that false rape claims. I was like, why have we said this 3 times?
I totally agree. I felt the same way. I was wondering if it was like, I don't know. I thought that was super weird too. I was like, are they trying to just make it very clear with her? Because she's trying to like bend the truth and use technicalities and stuff. You know what I mean? But I also thought that like didn't seem natural at all.
I thought that was a face-off. It was kind of like, Brandy and Monica, they'd be like, nah, yours, mine. Like, it was like, you're saying the same thing over and over again, but y'all are continuing to have a a conversation that is beyond the words you're saying. If you're just listening, you're like, this is very repetitive. Why are you doing this? But I feel it was like, yeah, it is. It really is. It's terrible. Yeah, that really is terrible. It's really like, I see what you're trying to do. I'm clocking it, and I'm keeping it cute in the moment because I got to have another point I have to get to. So I was like, yeah, I saw that, but then I thought, there's this conversation within that conversation. And those are the words, but they're having a separate dialogue of emotion in that scene because, she's used to, controlling the space, controlling the emotion. And Olivia knows how to also control the space and control the emotion. Like we said earlier, Olivia's one of her strongest things is that she actually has empathy and she uses that for good and weaponizes it as a strength. And this person does not describes themselves as being empathetic, and it's more along the lines of narcissistic. A little socio might be in there. I don't know, a little sprinkle of that. And so watching actual empathy up against, perceived or false empathy, that's like the battle that I thought was going on.
That makes a lot of sense.
Great.
I thought that it was making up for the previous episode, not the last episode, but a previous episode where we kept talking about like them not mentioning this. And so I was like, oh, is this an overcorrection? But I think yours makes sense.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. I'm glad you both saw it and it registered.
Yeah.
On the second watch, I was like, okay. Because at first I was like, is this like pointless? Because for me, like as of watching shows or watching the amount of TV that I watch, sometimes I already kind of know and I jump ahead a little bit because I see how they're setting things up. So sometimes I get very impatient watching television shows. I'm like, okay, I know what you're trying to do here. Like wrap, I feel like let's move the episode along faster or we can get somewhere else that I would rather go. So I thought maybe I was being impatient on the first watch, and I watched it again. I was like, oh, something else is going on there.
I get that. There was, this is just me nitpicking. There was a moment when we're at trial for Claire. Leia says, I felt something, and the the defense attorney says speculation, and Carisi's like, these are her feelings. That's not speculation. That's her feelings. The next words out of her mouth is Claire only cares about why I felt broken. It was research for, whatever, for Stuart. That is speculation. If you're going to have him object to her speculating, do it when she's doing it.
Yeah, and the judge was like, yeah, watch it. I was like, what do you mean watch it? Like, that was a perfectly valid question. Like, that was bizarre.
Thank you. I was like, no, that's speculation.
Yeah.
And then I found it very interesting, the way that Claire revealed why Leah was designated for her husband. I found this entire thing where she was like, no, Nicole is a chef. And it was so messed up for her to be like, no, she has a specialized skill. Leah, I let live here and I give her money and she doesn't do anything, with the off chance that my husband would like to have sex with her. That was her defense.
That's bullshit because assistants do so much. She's like, all she does is organize my desk and make reservations. I'm like, you have no idea how hard you're actually making her life. I guarantee that. She's doing so much more difficult things that you could not do. I think that was so messed up too.
Like, if you've ever been an assistant before, like there is a special bit of trauma that you carry around with you because you're like, and someone who's at that height of success, like you're responsible and like for their personal life and their business, you hold secrets, you hear stuff that they don't, you really see them up close and personal. And then you have to prioritize their life over like your life. Like as an assistant, there was many times where like, he got lunch. I ain't eat no damn lunch. I'm waking up early in the morning so I can beat you waking up to let you know. It's like that's a very strenuous and stressful job. I don't even know. I think I think the life cycle might be 2 years if you like want to keep your sanity. But like it's classism. It's saying that I have money. I have money. I am small. I have an accent. She's going to culinary school. She's a chef. And you are nobody. So because you're nobody and we're somebodies, then we can treat you like you're anybody. And that is some bullshit. It's classism. It's what we experience every single day. That I'm big, you know, Matilda's speech. I'm big, you're small, I'm right, you're wrong. Like, and there's nothing you can do about it. And that's what it was. But it was like, but she could stab your husband. She should have pulled it.
She should have pulled it out.
Yeah.
You could have bled right there. If you watch enough true crime, you would have known that. But she's reading them damn fantasy books, so she didn't know you're supposed to pull the knife out.
You know what? Facts.
Oh my god, I can't. Maybe you should listen to the SVU podcast, and you would have known.
At the end, Claire wants to make a statement. After the case is dismissed, after everyone is dismissed, she goes, "May I make a statement?" And then is surprised that everyone left.
I loved that. Because that just shows like nobody cares anymore. It was
so weird. But that's the thing is, I don't think it did show that. I think had the court not been dismissed, had people still been stuck there, right? The jury had been dismissed. He had gavelled. It was over. Had she said it before then and everyone got up and walked out because they didn't care, that would have made sense. But everyone left because she waited till they were gone to ask if she could make a statement.
I don't know. It worked for me because it shows that people are no longer like staring at her and hanging on her every word. They're like, we don't care. And so I don't know. The timing of it like didn't really bother me. I think it was just like in the past, everyone would have been standing and staring and hanging on her every word, and nobody even wanted to hear the statement. I liked that.
The timing really, really angered me. Doreen in the chat agrees with you. Everyone leaves. Love it.
Mindset though, she thinks that whenever she speaks that there should be an audience there, that there should be someone to observe and listen and pay attention. Just shows that like she doesn't even realize what the hell just happened, dummy. Nobody likes you no more, sister. Like
you know what's so sad though? In real life, people would absolutely still listen to her and worship her.
Oh, for sure.
That sucks. I'm just saying.
You said it. Parasocial relationships that you have with these people makes you feel like die hard for them, and you know, stands. You know, Eminem stand. Like I'm gonna do anything. I don't care what you do. I mean, we're actively watching it happen in multiple places. We ain't got to talk about it, but we know.
Well, let's talk about some of our favorite lines. I will go last. I only have one, and I want to let you all go. So Felicia, you want to give us a favorite line?
Say yours though, if you only have one.
Because I want to talk a little bit about it.
Okay. So in celebration of Fin Tutuola being back, Sergeant Fin Tutuola, and put some respect on his name, being back, all of my lines are Fin lines.
Oh.
Well, except for one, but I already know Taylor it's got on her list, so I'm gonna leave it. I
don't know. Maybe I only have 4, so I would say if I were you.
I feel like you do. I feel like I'd bet I bet $5 on it. But okay. Who are you? Cool. Get off my desk. Love that. This is me to a T, and this is something I've actually said at work many times. Does anybody dust around here? I mean, this is disgusting. I love people that don't delete their text. Oh, hey, Stuart Morgan, I got a different car for you.
Nice.
All Fin lines. Love
it. Taylor, what you got for us?
Claire's an empath. She cries when she sees a dead pigeon. I really liked the Rollins. We asked him to help Leah not bone us on this investigation. Like the use of bone us was just crazy to me. I like when I forget who was entering the room, but it was when they were listening to the like endless audio. How's it going? And someone says not great, and someone else said kill me. And I was like, yeah, that's actually super relatable content right there. When I'm working, that's also my reaction. And finally, when Finn it's also a Finn line when he is listening to the audio and he goes, "It gets quiet, I'm a blast." I just thought it was so funny the way he delivered that.
Oh,
and then also, I don't know if this is what you're talking about, when she like just everything she said about like signs and like being a Virgo, I really liked that too. But there were like several instances of that. What did I miss,
Yeah.
Felicia?
I didn't have that. It's I forget which one it was. She said he's so hot, but also like poison to her soul.
Yes, that was good
yeah.
too.
I just knew that was gonna be on your list. Okay.
That was good.
So good. Yeah, Doreen in the chat says most of my favorite lines are always Finn lines. Totally. So all I had was, because the Virgo one really was so good, was you don't like our story? That is devastating. And here's why I wanted to hold on to it, because it felt like the writers of the show saying, they probably say it to us all the time when they listen to our podcast. You go, "Oh, you didn't like that? Oh, you think we should have done something different?" I'm devastated. Because we complain.
I would literally die. Like if I literally ran into somebody else and I'm like, "Oh, I love the show," and they'd be like, "Yeah, so I heard you on the podcast," I'd be like, "What?" And I'm like, no, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. It was the girl with the ears. I throw y'all to the bus so damn fast. I'm like, it wasn't even me. It wasn't even me.
I would take it.
I would like to discuss briefly Rollins being like a giant fan of hers. Felt really interesting to me. Do you feel like this was in character for her? Because I kind of go back and forth on that.
I do feel like it was in character, because I think that Rollins definitely feels like someone who would read random stuff. I mean, as we may remember many seasons ago, Carisi was like a huge fan of one of the authors, the old guy with Marsha Cross's episode, something December, it doesn't matter. So I definitely believe that she probably reads a bunch of random crap, and the fact that she would then be able to, like, she may be a fan enough that she read it all, but she definitely then saw this and was like, "Oh, I totally understand this fandom," because she is very much like profile-y brain. So whether she was a like super fan or whether she just had read all of the books. Deanna in the chat says Rollins is a romance reality fan.
Oh, December solstice.
Thank you.
December solstice, sorry.
She read them all multiple times and the biography. Like, I think she was a super fan. Like, I don't think there's any question about that. Maybe that's why I was like, okay, if she had read them all once and was like lukewarm on them, that's one thing. But she like loved them. It sounded like
she's from a family with the background of having addictions, and so her being a super fan or going into escapism through a book is a better route for her. And, you know, we know about her past issues. So I feel like that makes sense. Like as she's grown as a person, like there's been a lot of personal development since we met and met this character. And so it just makes sense for the development that she's gone in. Also to like her being more in like an education kind of sphere and like, you know, hey, I want to read more, even if it is like not an academia book or if it's just for fun or something. And she's a mom. I don't know, when you put them, I don't have children. When you put them kids down, I'd imagine you want to escape to a different reality after a long day of parenting. So
true.
Yeah.
That is true. It does track. As we said earlier, this episode was absolutely ripped from the headlines. Taylor, would you like to discuss that now or wait for it for what did you learn?
We can do rip from the headlines. Just know that this is doubling for what I learned. This is Neil Gaiman, no?
This was based on Neil Gaiman. For those who don't know, Neil Gaiman is the person behind the Sandman graphic novel, which was then turned into Netflix series, Bad Omens, which is on Prime Video. He also, I believe, wrote Coraline. For those who are listening, you're not seeing Felicia's face. Neil Gaiman was accused of a lot of terrible stuff towards fans and assistants. and his wife, who is Amanda Palmer of the Dresden Dolls, so she's a musician, was involved and accused and charged with trafficking, specifically women for him. So while this story very much felt like it was originally felt like an attack on like romantasy authors, that is not what Neil Gaiman writes, but the rest of the case very much mimicked a lot of what his story is, but then turned it around because she was the writer in this one and it was her husband. So they took a lot of liberties, but they definitely approached a lot of realities in his case.
Yeah, and I would like to say this news broke, and I forget the publisher, but there was like a huge long piece
Vulture,
like investigating this. Do you remember what it was?
I think it was Vulture.
Yeah, maybe Vulture. And I just want to say, like, if you want to read more information on this, it's a great article. It made me so physically ill. It's one of the most disturbing things I've ever read. So please use caution and take care of yourself, because it is really, really disturbing. And that's someone who watches shows like this often. I remember like vividly where I was and like how it made me feel. It's really, really bad. But also like important if you can handle it, because like this stuff does happen and he's a really disgusting predator, allegedly. But yeah.
I will also add that, as we said, like this has not he lost a bunch of deals, but he's still beloved by a lot of fans, and a lot of people don't even know about this story and what happened.
Really
yes, Deanna American Gods as well. Yeah, he's very well known. Lucifer, the show that was on Fox, and then
Sandman, I think you said that one,
yes.
maybe, but that's
yeah.
like the most recent one that had a season come out. But
if I had known the last time I was gonna watch Coraline was gonna be the last time I watched, I would have really enjoyed it more.
I'm sorry to ruin Coraline for you.
I like movies like that normally, and I like that one.
It's hard. It's like, yeah, it sucks. Like House of Cards was one of my favorite shows, and then Kevin Spacey, and you're like, oh,
girl, that hurt too. Oh, that hurt. But it's this ongoing conversation, right, of separating the art from the artist. How do we take the art and leave the artist and trying to figure out whatever that is? And I think we're still figuring out the answer societally wise, like what works for everybody. For me, I'm okay. I'm good, because what I understand is what I do, which is that the more I talk about your show, the more I play it, the more I play your music, that I promote it. And I don't want to promote it. Now, I'm not going to come if someone has it on the television in their house and be like, turn that on right now. Like, I'm not going to do that because it's not my house and it's on and I'm not contributing to it. But I don't really want to be around that. That is actually terrible. And it's really bad too, because now that impacts other people. So guess what? I haven't watched Sandman. I will never watch it. Those actors didn't do anything. The showrunners did nothing. The PAs that work on the show, they didn't do anything at all. Right. I mean, no, not in this case. We're talking about this. They did nothing. They're innocent. But now I don't want to participate. And that's for everybody who's innocent after. But that's just, I don't think I can read the article. I read the Sandusky court documents, and I have forever changed in a bad way. So I'm good on reading stuff like that. But so why is this man not on t-shirts? Why do we know all about Bill Cosby and everything else, and we don't know about him? We don't. I'm
pretty sure you could guess why.
Well, oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty sure you can guess why.
But okay, well, wow. You think this is going to be a regular Sunday, and then you find out you never watch Coraline again.
I'm really sorry. I'm moving us along. It is time for shower thoughts. For our friends who are listening in the shower, you're obviously not reading the Neil Gaiman story or article, but that's okay. We're going to do a quick would you rather. Would you rather be a boring human in a world where everyone has magic, or have shitty magic in a boring world? And when I say shitty magic, I mean literally magic over shit.
Oh, look, I could give that one immediately, because whenever somebody pisses me off, I always wish diarrhea on them. That one, if I could really make it, I want you to be stuck on the toilet. I want your legs to be numb. I want it to hurt when you get up. I want you to have to hold on to the towel rack just to stand. I want you to be temporarily crippled because you have sat on that toilet long. I want your ass to burn. I want you to have to make your knees touch your elbows and touch the floor to get that shit out. Like, I literally wish diarrhea on my worst enemy all the time. And sometimes I'd be like, because I don't want to wish, I'm not wishing death. I don't want nothing bad to happen to you. I want you to be physically hurt. But yes, I want you to be stuck on that toilet with a low battery for your phone.
See, I'm like using this in a more, not altruistic, but like, I have bad stomach issues, and so I would just cure those for myself, and that would be really nice. So like, honestly, we make a good tag team because I would be healing and you'd be harming, and I think both of those are actually super valid ways to use this power.
Yeah, because people deserve to eat ice cream. You know, people deserve to eat ice cream.
That's the thing. I would be curing people that I liked and myself, but people who are terrible and lactose intolerant, that's your problem to continue to have.
We're like Wicked.
Wow, this is beautiful. Oh my god, even down to our colors today.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your
honestly, I would have preferred to be the boring human in a world where everyone's magical. One,
Why?
because I would be unique. I would stand out. I'd be the only one of my kind. And two, because all of my friends would help me and do the magic things because they would be so impatient to wait for me to do them the slow way that I wouldn't even have to use my magic. Other people would do it for me.
That would be sad.
You know what though? Deanna in the chat agrees with you. Shit magic. I would make a shit into golems to do my bidding. Is this a Dogma reference? Because if it is, it's perfect. Silly. So silly. I'm glad I could. I love this. So funny. All right. It's time for What Did We Learn? Taylor, what did you learn?
Well, I learned that this case was ripped from the Neil Gaiman headlines, and I never figure it out on my own. I always have to look it up, and the fact that I saw the similarities, I was proud of myself. So
I'm proud of you too.
I'm gonna say, and also that the SVU marketing team deserves a raise for their use of What the Hell Shore. I just thought that was so funny.
I did find that actually, and it is actually hilarious. I did end up looking that up while we were doing the show.
Nice.
They even have it on a t-shirt. You know? I learned that Curry is not an antinatalist, that she's willing to leave her job and take her son to sports.
So real.
Great.
And that's a work-life balance that me maybe haven't gotten to see Olivia have and be fortunate enough to have. And that is something that Curry prioritizes, is that she wants to be the person to take her son there. Although, I mean,
we haven't seen Noah this season, have we?
No.
He's 21 years old. And how are they going to explain that? That boy is probably way taller than Mariska at this point. And he's
remember we saw him? We saw him for like a minute last season, and I was like, did they replace him? But no, he hit puberty and he looks different.
It's like season 2 of Wednesday, and then Pugsley is 6'4".
That was crazy. That has been crazy to watch too. Yeah.
I learned, I guess, about this Jemima Kirk meme that I had not heard of.
I love that I told you that.
I'm excited to check it out.
So good.
Because that sounds wonderful. And I love that our marketing team, the SV marketing team, is doing well. Because for those who don't know, next episode is the mid-season finale. That's right. They're taking a break in November and will not be back until January. We will be doing that episode on Friday at a special time. So the day after it airs at a special time. Make sure you have subscribed here, wherever that here may be for you, so that you don't miss this episode. If you want to join us live, it will be on the YouTube channel for FANVERSATION. So subscribe there. And I don't know what time yet. We'll let you know. Until next episode, Taylor, where are you at on the internet? What are you up to these days?
I am on Twitter at alphabet_, and I am on Instagram at Taylor_Gates_. What the hell, sure.
Amazing. Felicia, what are you up to these days?
Wishing diarrhea on my worst enemies and posting for Noblesville. Boom. So if you want to come and you like
Log off.
you like basketball, coming out to a game, it's really fun. And what else do I have going on?
That's enough.
I think that's enough. Yeah, diarrhea. I really should just shut the hell up. But yeah, that's where I'm at doing things.
I love that. I love that for you and for your enemies. I am Yael Tygiel. I am on Instagram at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. And like Felicia mentioned at the top of the show, I read romance. I read smut. I have veered very, very slightly into the fantasy, but very, very slightly. Would not have read a book like this.
No vampires.
Nope. But if you want to hear more about that, check out Good Little Library Mouse on Instagram or on the FANVERSATION website. Until next episode, thank you for joining us. Bye, everybody.